I'm so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck.
We have already arrived at small businesses being run out of work. We have already arrived at inflation being completely unlivable.
How are people surviving financially nowadays? Because me and my husband make decent money. We only have one child. We have regular cars. We're still paying them off, so we have car payments. We live in a decent area, nothing fancy. And I feel like we're constantly struggling.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hope, and we're going to go ahead and hop right on into the video. You see the title, you know what it is. We're keeping you laced up, and we're going to go over how people are surviving in this crazy economy. Sit back, relax, drink your water, whatever you need to do. We're going to go to hop right on into it.
You know, the cost of living is getting out of hand. This whole inflation thing, it's just getting way out of hand. It's ridiculous. Everything's gone up. Groceries, property tax. I went to renew my sticker for my plate. It's $151 now. It used to be $131. Insurance, car insurance, health insurance, you name it has gone up. But you know the one thing that hasn't gone up for the average household is the income. It hasn't gone up whatsoever. And I can tell you, listen, for example, we'll go shopping for the house. We'll go to the big box stores, you know, the Sam's and the Costco's. And then during the week, we still have to go to the regular, you know, grocery stores. That's some things. And I'm sitting here telling myself, I don't know how people do it, you know? And I own a business, right? A semi-truck business. And, you know, you're barely making it. Owning a business. Our business, my business that I'm in, trucking, the rates have gone down significantly. The rate for repairs have went up. At the end of the day, this is getting out of hand and needs to stop.
Why aren't we talking about the fact that restaurants are all slow all over the country, especially right now in Southern California, are extremely slow? Like, and I'm not talking about those restaurants that are like mostly alcohol based. I'm talking about like restaurants. Everyone's like, oh, it's because it's holiday just happened. Nah, restaurants are getting slower. I think it has to do with the economy. The other day, I went grocery shopping, and for one meal, it was like $70 for home. For like 5 people. And then I went to go put gas yesterday to get to work. And gas was $6.20 a gallon. Like, I get it. I think that's one of the reasons restaurants are slow. Like, no one wants to come out. I mean, no one can afford to put, what, 2, 3, 4 gallons of gas at $6 a piece? Something needs to change, or restaurants are going to start failing. And people are going to stop going out because inflation's killing everything.
I think an amazing gauge to go ahead and see how our economy is doing is off of small business owners. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and get into the larger business companies and everything in the next section of the video. But we're talking about the small business owners who are actually the backbone of America. This is what we go and judge off of the middle class. Those people who are able to make and create little small and pop businesses and jobs and things like that, when they're struggling and their costs of supplies and everything for restaurants and stores, corner stores, when all of those go up in price to supply these things, now they have to increase their prices. And when they have to increase their prices, they're getting less customers. And when they're getting less customers because people are like, I can't afford to pay this, they have to start laying people off. So then that's where it starts leading into the layoff, into the softening job market, into inflation. All of these things contribute. And so it's definitely important to go ahead and get their perspectives of small business owners and how they're feeling. And now we're going to go ahead and hop over here into the comments because my man is not happy about them not visiting the restaurant. We got a top comment here from the restaurant. He said, everyone wants a 22% tip. Man, ain't that the truth? Everybody, you got a tip for everything. Did I just open the door for you? You got a tip. Did I just go ahead and pour my coffee for you? Did I pour that coffee for you? I'm literally telling you, everybody wants a tip. Minimum, anything that you're doing, you're paying for it. And then the next comment we have, first, it's expensive as hell. We cannot remember the last time me and my wife went to a restaurant and later we talked about how good the food was. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I want to say the same. The cheap options of the fast food is the same prices of these entrees of the higher scale restaurants. We kind of went over this in the last week's video. If you guys want to go check that out, I'll drop the pin here for the card. But yes, there's no more cheap options. So it's sad that you can't even enjoy a good quality meal for a good quality price. You got to get the fast food for the actual quality food prices. Crazy, man. And then the last comment here, I'm not about to pay 30 bucks for a $15 burger. It's pretty simple. I agree. I'm not going to pay 30. Perfectly summed up. I'm not doing it. This is for the top comment of last week's video. This shout out goes to JFUF-G3X. Crazy little different username, but shout out. I appreciate you for commenting down below. We have American prices are almost as high as Canadian. If you want to see some unbelievable prices, check out Alaska. A case of water there is 50 bucks. Whoa, that's insane. That's on a whole nother level. And I appreciate you taking your time. If you do want to go ahead and have a chance to go ahead and get a shout out in the next week's video, go ahead and comment down below. As you were the top comment for last week's video, I'm going to do this next clip for you. We'll be checking out the Canadian prices. But before we do that, if you guys do have any requests that you would like me to react to, please feel free to go ahead and email me. My email is in the description always, or drop a comment down below, and I'm always reading them. Appreciate it.
There is no more cost of living. There is only cost of surviving. My girlfriend and I met for coffees the other day, and she owes a little bit of money to the government, and she was crying to me, saying, I don't know what to do. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm a single mother. Like, I can't afford to live here anymore. So she had a call with the CRA, and the CRA ripped her apart. They said it is unacceptable that you have not maxed out your credit cards to pay us. It is not acceptable that you are paying $1,000 a month in groceries for yourself and your 3 children. You need to cut back. So she said to them, you're telling me that you want me to take the food from my children's mouth to pay your greedy ass, when it's your fault that groceries are astronomically priced right now. We are all in this together. We are all suffering together. The cost of living is killing people. Families are falling apart. People don't get to see their children because they have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. I need to let people know that there's another way. And I'm telling you, you need to start looking into the world of digital marketing, digital products, digital sales. These are all things that you can do at home. Make them at home, build them at home, implement it at home, start marketing it at home, and start making the money at home. Working your 9 to 5 is barely getting you by. You're never going to get ahead. But I'm telling you, you need to do something, because this isn't going to get better. Watch what's going to happen in the housing market this year. Watch the price of groceries. Watch the price of gas. Like, we're not getting relief. This is not going away. So how are you going to get on top of it? What are you going to do to make sure that you and your family can survive?
Yo, is this really how they're doing this over here in Canada? They're having the government call you up and say, why are you not maxing out your credit card? Why are you trying to feed your kids instead of paying my bill? I'm not going to Canada. I thought Canada ain't. No, I thought Canada was pretty cool up there. No, that's insane. Yo, Canada, y'all need to get up out of there. Y'all gonna have to move. But, I mean, don't come to America, because that whole American dream, that stuff is dead. That was, you know what? Let's go and hop into that American dream right now.
Hey guys, I hate to be a little too real, but how are we supposed to live like this? Genuinely, like, the economy's so bad. How am I supposed to afford anything when I graduate from college? It feels like you're either rich or you're poor. There's no in between anymore. Inflation is at an all-time high, and it's not even the fun kind. And it's so much more than just simple inflation. It's also shrinkflation, so not only do things get more expensive, but they also get smaller. We're getting served less stuff for a higher price. And then on top of that, it's also skimpflation. So for that less servings for a higher price, we're also getting worse ingredients that are cheaper for the company. And then on top of that, CEO compensation has increased dramatically while worker compensation has stayed pretty much flat. And then on top of that, rent and houses are getting more expensive throughout the entire country. What's getting lower? What's getting easier for the people? Because I can only think of one thing getting lower right now, and it's interest rates. It's money given to us. What?
Can somebody explain to me in crayon eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage, and I cannot afford to live.
I know he kind of answered the question himself in his own video, but I want to highlight one thing he briefly mentioned and talk about it, which is that the American dream is dead. Yes, the traditional American dream, which is like doing better than your parents and being able to provide a lot for your family, is dead, or at least it's changed. Because there are many of us that are well aware that we will never be able to make as much money as our parents did. And I think my mother, who is a boomer and benefited directly from the system in place, said it best when she once said, roughly, that the American dream has changed. It's become very apparent to everyone that in this economy, Gen Z, millennials, and some Gen Xers, many of us will not be able to do better than our parents. We won't even be able to do as well as our parents. And now the American dream has become just being able to get by, being able to maybe afford a house at some point, maybe have a kid or two if we're lucky enough to make that much money. And a lot of us, myself included, who has now experienced company like financial related layoffs twice so far in the last 2 years since I've entered the job market. You know, those of us who feel like we're constantly in fight or flight about bills and how we're going to keep making it by, it's making us miserable and feel so hopeless. And yes, I could sit here all day and show you graphs of how like inflation is going up, and while wages are going up, it's just not matching inflation. So it feels like we're all just constantly working and working, and the goalpost just keeps getting moved further and further away from us. And yeah, it has a lot of us extremely stressed and worried and feel like just giving up because we're constantly running a race where the finish line is getting moved further out. And I think it's obvious that we're all just really exhausted by it now. I know I am. I'm constantly hitting a wall with all of this. And a lot of us have to wake up every day blatantly knowing we will never do as well as our parents did. And we just have to try to make it, you know, somewhat close to that.
It's sad because truly the American dream was always to do better than the last generation, that your parents and everything, and also have that white picket fence of the home and making sure you have your family, little 2-car garage, 1-car garage, family, being able to afford that. That's all gone. You can barely afford to buy groceries. You can barely afford to pay for a car with these car payments. Link is up here for the cards if you want to go review. We did that last week to these insane car payments. And then you can't afford to buy a house. Housing prices are insane. Well, I mean, I don't have to tell you that. You know, you ain't buying a house over here in the U.S. anytime soon unless you're rolling in some money. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the top comments here for the American dream. For the top comment, we have, I'd call it the American nightmare now. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely American. You're definitely sleeping out here because it's tough, man. And then we have the next comment. The American dream is now either a lottery jackpot or personal injury lawsuit. Damn, I mean, we are suing as a country. Like, that's all. The one thing America's going to do, we going to sue you to get that money. Like, yeah, man, it's sad for real.
I made more money last year than I have ever made in a calendar year before. And I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. How, might you ask? Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too. I moved into a new tax bracket, so they basically take double what they used to. Let's not mention that my property taxes and insurance went up, so did my mortgage. Light bill, high. Water bill, high. Insurance, high. Car payment, high. Groceries, astronomically high. Phone bill high. Cable bill high. Gas prices high. I don't even know how I made it when I didn't make this much money. How are y'all doing it? Like, honestly, how are you doing it?
The economy isn't that bad. Quit being lazy. Chips are $6, $5 on sale. Okay, cereal? $5 for a normal box of cereal, all right? Then let's talk about milk. Oh, $3.69 for a gallon of milk. And then let's talk about meat. $7 for 1 pound of meat, and that's the off-brand. Don't even get me started on toilet paper, because if I want the nice Charmin, it's expensive. And then if your kids like these little fruit cups, yeah, you're screwed. You are screwed. Oh, creamer, because you're trying to quit Starbucks, that's expensive. Oh, yeah, my kids love macaroni. Well, there goes all my money since they like macaroni. Okay, let's go into the deli meat section so my kids can have some sandwiches. Oh, $9 for 1 pound of turkey meat. Oh, 2 chicken breasts, guess how much? Almost $9 for 2 chicken breasts. Oh, and then if you want to clean your house like a normal citizen, you're going to go bankrupt doing that. And if you want to be germ-free to hit up those Clorox wipes, yeah, $14 for a 3-pack of those. Yeah, let's just talk about some Alfredo sauce. To get the pretty good brand, $6 for 1 jar, okay? This cart of 2 bags and some toilet paper cost me almost $70. Half this stuff was off-brand, okay? So yeah, this economy is great.
These last clips are extremely important because this is affecting you being able to put food on the table for your kids or food on the table for yourself to be able to eat. We're talking about $8 for a pound of meat, $4 for a gallon of milk, $6 for a bag of chips, $6 for a bag of cereal. Whoa. We literally went over this last week, so I don't want to harp too much on the prices, but this is insane. If you do want to go ahead and check out those prices of what's really going on in the grocery stores, I'll link that up here for you right now. Go check that out. Put a card up here. It's crazy out here. Seriously, all these prices are insane. We're going to go ahead and hop right into the comments now. Now for the grocery store prices, we got the best comments. On the top comment, I remember when a 12-pack was 3 for $12. Oh my goodness. Do we remember the 3 for $12? At Kroger's, and you go to Costco, you get the little good discounts. Long gone. You kiss that goodbye. And then we have the next comment here. It's so overwhelming shopping for anything. I know we all feeling like that right now. These prices are insane. The last comment we have, it's cheaper to eat out. Man, is this the case? You get squeezed literally from both ends. You can't get a quality meal for a quality price. You get a fast food for quality meal prices. And then you can't even go buy the groceries to cook at home because it's so insane. You get taxed on both ways. The cost of surviving. Summed up. The cost of surviving. We got to make it shake.
Okay, so I'm just checking. We're all unable to buy a house right now, right? Like, I'm not the only one who runs the numbers every single day and looks at the budget and is just like, there is no way on earth that this is potentially feasible for me. Like, I'm working with 2 very average incomes. They're not great incomes, but they're fine incomes. Incomes that 10 years ago probably would have meant that we could buy a house. I digress. Anyway, we pay rent so that we can live somewhere, because when we got out of college, we had to rent so we could theoretically save money to eventually buy a home. Except rent is so astronomical that we are actually not able to save for a home. Even still though, like, we don't pay as much in rent as I know other people do. We don't live in a huge city. It's somewhat affordable, even though I still think it's ridiculous. Compared to other people, it's still affordable. Okay, so subtracting that from what we bring home a month, like, yeah, there's still some money left. Except that somehow, no matter what I do, because we've cut back on everything, we've cut back on groceries, eating out, we haven't actually traveled in a while. I have a freaking coffee machine at home, so I don't buy coffee out of the house. I will admit that we do get avocados, but we do get them from Costco, so it's less expensive. We both work from home, so we shouldn't be paying that much for gas, but yet somehow we are. I'm going through my credit card statement at the end of every month, and I'm literally spending $20 here and there. Like, there are no big purchases on this credit card, but the groceries are killing us. But we also have to eat. We can't not eat. We need to put gas in the car because sometimes we do have to go places. But like, I can't figure out where this is coming from. Like, we're not huge shoppers. We eat at home most of the time. Compared to other people my age, we do not spend money on alcohol or drugs. I don't freaking Uber Eats or Grubhub or anything. And I don't want to sound ungrateful because at the end of the month, we are able to save something, right? But it's not nearly enough to save up for a down payment on a freaking house. And if we did decide to go that route, it would take us, I calculated it, like 12 years of just doing absolutely nothing with our lives, like just staying at home, doing nothing. And I'm not willing to spend the next 12 years completely restricting myself for the dream, the possibility of a dream of getting to buy a home. Like, these are the best years of my life. I want to live them. And even if we did that and we saved for 12 years and we put a down payment on a house, we could not afford a nice one. Our mortgage would still cost more than my rent currently.
Now, what I'm about to say may piss a lot of landlords off, but I don't really care at all. But I'm gonna read to y'all the qualifications that this person wants for this house. And it ain't an amazing ass house. We're not talking about anything super expensive. The rent, like I said, is $16.95, $40 application fee per adult. They want you to make 3.5 times the rent. Standard for whatever reason is 3 times the rent. When majority of Americans don't even make 3 times a $1,600 a month rent. I don't know where people just get up and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make this a national standard that people have to make 3 times the rent amount. Majority of people can afford 2 times the rent on a specific basic home like this. But this person is going even further. They don't want you to have 3 times the rent. They want you to have 3.5 times the rent. They want the last 2 years of your W-2s, the last 3 months of your check stub, driver's license or ID, social security card. They want you to make 2 months worth of rent as your security deposit before you even move in, and you have to have a credit score of at least a 670. I'm trying to tell you off the bat, that disqualifies so many people from being able to be in a home that is decent. Let's add that up, why don't we? Off the rip, you have to pay first month's rent, $16.95. You have to pay $40 application fee per adult, and let's just say the standard adult is 2 adults, right? You have to pay, if you have a pet, which majority of people in Houston do have pets, dogs, it's a $250 non-refundable fee per pet. So let's just say you have a pet. We're going to add that up. And then you have to make 2 months of the rent to equal the amount of the security deposit. So that's $16.95 times 2. All right. And on top of that, we're not even talking about your utilities and all the things that you have set up. They want you to have rental insurance before you move in. Standard rental insurance is probably about $25 a month. Let's just say that. Before you can even move into this house, sitting in a savings account somewhere or just idle money, you already got to come off of this amount of money. I don't know at what point we stop being human, though. Even as an investor and a landlord, at what point did we stop being human and we say money trumps everything, including people? I don't get it.
Literally have to make $6,000 to $7,000 in order for you just to live by yourself. The absolute rental market is in shambles right now.
Hey y'all, I'm probably about to get fired from my job today, but oh well, who cares? But like, I just want to talk about this because this is something that is really pushed on us heavy in the African American community. I don't care what nobody say. Prioritize building yourself a support system. I don't care what nobody say, because people be trying to have this mentality, oh, I don't need nobody, all I got is me, I don't need to look out for nobody, hustling, grind. This economy ain't no joke. People be in 2-income households still struggling to make ends meet. Like, it really is hard out here. Like, this is the hardest it's literally ever been. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like, all of these prices is out of control. So prioritize building yourself up a community. I don't care what nobody say. Like, 2 single moms can stay together. Go get with your people. Get them a couple dollars to stay. Prioritize. Don't be messing around trying to date all these different people. If you messing with people and they can't help you at all, they not beneficial to nothing that you got going on, let them go, because this economy ain't no game. Like, I ain't never even really been the type of person that was like pressed for a dude, but it's to the point where like I literally just wanted a boyfriend, like just so that we can come together and pay bills. I don't care what nobody say. Like, all that, I don't need nobody, all I got is me. Yeah, no, that's not no easy way to live. I don't care what nobody say. And I know I done said that like a million times, but for real. Prioritize building yourself a community. And these people that ain't got one, they can brag all day about how they do it on their own, no help. And they be crying behind closed doors trying to figure it out, because it is hard. This economy is a beast. So bye.
Now, what she's saying, now, like this lady is saying, we have to pull together. All of this individualism that we were raised up on in American society is over with. Pull together. Your mom, your brother, your cousin, whatever it is, everyone pull together to be able to afford to live. We're all complaining. Everyone's complaining about how hard it is to live. Come together as a family and stack y'all bread up and make moves. This is what you have to do today.
Baby, you know the economy is bad when you can't even afford to be sad. Like, I can't even afford to be sad. I can't even afford to be depressed. Like, I cannot afford to just sit and sulk and wallow. Like, I literally have to transmute this energy. And it's like, maybe I need that push, because would I go so hard if I didn't have to? I don't know, because you know I'm lazy sometimes, so maybe I need this extra push to really make my dreams come true. But then on the other hand, it's like, no, bitch, I'm tired, like, but I can't even afford to be tired. Back in the day, you could afford a little heartbreak, you could afford to call off work, right? You could afford, you know, to go to work and go in the bathroom and cry for 20 minutes. I can't afford it.
What do you do when you cut off all the excess fat of all your wants and everything that you want extra, the sweets and all that? You cut back on all of those, the extra coffees, the avocado toast, all of the things, the luxuries that are supposed to be too expensive for you to be paying for. And all you're left with is the bare bone necessities. And you still can't afford your bills. What do you do at that point? What do you do when you can't afford to be sad? You can't literally afford to reflect on anything of how your life is going, emotion. You have to keep running. This is the society that we're living in today, man. It's really tough out here, but thank you guys for hanging with me. We're going to go ahead and hop into the next section. We're going to be talking about the soft job market and about how people are living and how are they surviving with these jobs and the gig economy, what's going on. So don't miss this next section. We're going to go ahead and click that up here right here. So go ahead and click on that next video. Thank you, YouTube, for hanging with me. We'll catch y'all in the next one.